I flew all the way to Spain to interview 100 young entrepreneurs and learn exactly how they made their millions, including multi-millionaire Jordan Welsh and Luke Belmar.
Started over 30 companies.
30 companies? Whoa.
You know, I invented the tracking pixel, started the first ebook publishing company, started the first ad tracking company.
I don't think you guys know who I'm talking to right now. This is Russell Brunson's first mentor. They call him the godfather of internet marketing. Just to give you a little context. Oh, and his response to my question later is crazy.
These ideas are being transmitted to a lot of us. A lot of us are receiving them, but not all of us act on them. And somehow I figured out how to act on these ideas a little faster.
For someone who is struggling, specifically financially, specifically for someone who's in like low, mid 5 figures, just wanting to have some of those options to be able to experience more life and fulfillment, what is something that you could share that is of value?
For me, for a long time, it was deep resentment for people who were born outside of poverty. You know, being born in poverty, man, I had a chip on my shoulder about that for a long time, man. Any sense of injustice I feel about it, I think is 100% justified. But I started to realize, okay, now what? You're justified in your feelings of being a victim. You were a victim, okay? What are you gonna do about it?
We do affiliate marketing and dropshipping. So those are the two businesses I'm focusing on. And we are doing approximately 450,000 a month.
What? I didn't even know you did that much. Jeez, bro. Congratulations. Seriously. Leave us with one word of wisdom. One word that just helped you move through life and push through.
I would say be comfortable in the uncomfortable. That was actually my issue when I was starting out, because I am naturally quite introverted. And so, for example, events like this, right, networking event, and just reaching out to people in the business and, you know, extracting value and talking to them, helping out people. I was too shy to do that. But once I realized, like, you have to be uncomfortable, right, in order to grow, then I had to push through. And I think it can be applied in all stages of life. Whether you are just starting out, it will be difficult because you'll probably suck, right? But once you do it more and more, you will suck less and less.
In the tough moments, I'm sure there was some at some point in the journey. What would you say is something that helped you push through those?
So it's belief. Like you gotta back yourself. Like you really have to back yourself. And again, like I said, in my mind there was no other option. Like really no other option. So I believed in myself somewhat, but I really thoroughly knew that like deep down in my heart there was no other option.
Conviction.
But I believe that we all have our own unique cocktail of advantages and disadvantages. And there was this old ancient science of alchemy, right? You know, the transmutation of base metals into gold.
Yeah.
And I like to see alchemy as a metaphorical thing, you know? Okay, maybe we can take the base metals of our disadvantages and transmute them into something beautiful.
But like, you got to put in the work. But you can put in the work with knowledge, time, money. There's many resources you can use, but those with most resources and those who are willing to put in most of their resources for the longest period of time have the highest probability to win. You can't guarantee it, but the probability is high, right?
Currently doing mid 8 figures per year. We're looking to scale into 9 figures a year with our holding company.
Oh, I gotta take the mic for that, because that's phenomenal. Mid 8 figures a year, looking to scale 9 figures. I see why this partnership happened. You weren't playing. Y'all weren't joking around. This is not a Nintendo. Wow. Congratulations for that, guys. That's big.
You're more Xbox, you feel me, bro? No Nintendo stuff around here. We're not playing any games, my guys.
We use different funnels to market our products. We have a holding company that has a portfolio of different e-commerce brands and different categories. The one we like the most is hair care. We've had a very good success rate there, and we each come with a different value of skills which is why I think that when you guys look to make partnerships, always look what can the other person complement me and where I lack, and where can I complement the other person and where they lack.
Yeah, so I started dropshipping in 2016 as like a side hustle.
How old were you?
I was 27, 27-ish. But I was working a corporate job at this.
What made you start dropshipping?
Actually, I saw like an ad for a course online. So I've tried a bunch of different ways to like make money online, but none of them panned out. I tried like affiliate marketing. I tried ranking websites on Google to like get Google AdSense money. I even tried to be like a online poker player.
Yeah.
Want to work for a boss, you know? And yeah, I stumbled upon dropshipping and that finally clicked for me.
What is one valuable piece of information that helped you grow a company 7 figures?
Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. I spent a good amount of money on courses.
That's big, actually. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself.
Exactly. Like, you can try to figure everything out on your own, but it'll just be like a lot slower and like less accelerated than if you like find a mentor like I did with Luke, you know? Like just me like encountering Luke and like being able to see how he operates on a daily basis has been huge for my overall routine and business.
Basically, I'm a high-ticket closer, so a company will hire me to close deals. So they'll have leads that come in, and they need solutions. They've got problems, and you know the owner of a product or an offer wants to be able to provide that solution. So it's about, my job is essentially to see what their problems are, and if that solution's a good fit for them, and yeah, sort of close the deal and set them up and do these sort of things. So it allows you to be a sort of like a remote worker, have that sort of freedom, and you know, it gives you a lot of cash flow, and then you can explore building your own offers, your own opportunities, your own business.
As I was saying, take us out on one word of wisdom.
I think the one word would be conviction. I think that would be the word that would be like my biggest advice. If you have conviction in yourself and in your ideas and your projects and the people around you, you really can achieve anything. No matter, you can overcome any deficit if you've got enough conviction.
Pause. Quick question. Do you have enough conviction when it comes to your goals? If you're serious about your success, take some time to evaluate this question to deepen the conviction in your life. Just for context, don't know, I just met you. What kind of revenue range are you in? What are you like in the past year?
In the beginning, I've been selling on platforms, and I was doing okay money, just like 5-10K a day. You know, I was getting comfortable. And then I met guys here, like crazy numbers. And then I started going into dropshipping. And then, well, fast forward to the point that I'm now doing right now 500K a month with the brand I'm doing.
Oh, well done, bro. Well done. Wow. Oh, you've been able to do pretty well to be 20 years old, bro. What?
17 years old.
You said 20 is old.
Yeah, it's old.
Stop. Just stop, man.
I started at 16 actually. When started selling mouth masks on the platform. It was when I made my first capital. It's a funny story because I used to work at a fulfillment center, you know, shipping out products for web shops. I used to fold the boxes, and then I started selling products online. You know, the mouth mask for COVID, and basically my web shop I brought to the fulfillment center I worked at. So at this point I was packing my own orders at the fulfillment center I was working at, and then I hit a certain amount of orders, and I thought like, yeah, I need to get out of here. So I was able to quit my job at that time, and it's been only up. So my advice would be, make a clear plan for yourself and execute on it on a daily basis, every day. Put in the reps, even though if you don't see the results, they will come. And trust yourself, have trust and faith in yourself, and you will make it. Yes, that will be my advice. Like I'm only 20 and I haven't achieved that much really. So, but yeah, that's my advice to the people.
You just got into the world like a couple weeks ago.
I'm saying, so you can listen to my advice, but who am I? You know, that this is just what has worked for me, and I see working for guys around me. Yeah, do you really want it? Then you gotta put in the reps daily without seeing the results in the beginning as well.
Leave us with one word of wisdom in your years of entrepreneurship and wealth management.
Harvest compounding anywhere you can get it. Compounding can be found in almost anything. You can compound experiences. Money, I mean, if you grow something at 10% per year, it only takes 7.2 years to double. It's not 10. You can compound your network. If you have two good friends that are two good people in your network, that's one thing. But if the whole point of this club is to have a huge foundation. So having two people to bounce off of is one thing, but having a
community
of our collective knowledge and wisdom.
Dude, that means like communities within themselves are compounding environments. That's awesome.
Every facet of life, I think you can find compounding there. And I think that's the key to basically everything.
Yeah, I'm from Hamburg, Germany. We do Amazon marketing agency. So basically, we help people to scale their brands, private labels on Amazon to get more profit, to get more visibility, and to do the next strategic steps.
What is one of the most valuable business skills that you've learned in your journey so far?
Always be the dumbest person in the room, because you can learn the most and learn from everybody. You can learn from the homeless person, and you can learn also from the multimillionaire. It's probably you won't learn anything about money from the homeless, but there is something he maybe has you can learn.
What inspired me to keep moving forward at all times is two different things. Number one, whatever happens for you is for a good reason, and you will understand it in the future, why it happened, the way it happened. If you don't get something immediately, you will understand at least I believe so, you will understand at some point in your future why it happened. And the second thing is, actually, Len, I will let you finish it.
Oh, I love that. My favorite quote, one of my favorite quotes. Steve Jobs said it, but it was probably, I'm sure it was before Steve Jobs. Life is lived forwards every day, but it's understood backwards. When you look back, you can connect the dots. You can understand, oh, I went through that because it helped me this. And yeah, I love that.
I think I like what Liran said a lot, but to give something different, I would say know where you want to be. I think too many people wander around just their everyday life pretty aimlessly, and I think the best thing that I could recommend to anyone is really set your goals. And whether that's for a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, obviously the longer you can go, the better, but make it realistic to yourself. I mean, prove to yourself that, set a week goal. If you're trying to get into business now, if this is for a beginner and you want to get into, commit a week that you're just going to spend 8 hours a day learning and educating yourself. That's a win. That's a goal that you can set and achieve. Do it in a month, do it for a year, and then see how far that actually gets you. So I would say know exactly where it wants to be, because if you don't have a destination, that's like saying I want to travel to a specific point and not having no idea the roads or the map to get there and just thinking you're going to figure out how to get there. It's like you have to know where the destination is, and with the modern internet, you can have the Google Maps to get you there. Learn, study, educate yourself, and get to the places where you want to be. So I would say set goals, ultimately.
I believe that you probably heard this from other people, but I'm going to expand on it as well. But whatever you're trying to do, or whatever you are currently doing, whether you're very successful or you're just starting out, having someone that's already done what you're trying to do to learn from as like a mentor or whatever is very, very important. Because I noticed in myself and a lot of other entrepreneurs, we have shiny object syndrome, and we're always like this, I'm gonna do this and that. But if you have someone to kind of help keep you on that path instead of being distracted and going all these different directions.
Or community.
Yeah, community, and have someone to kind of keep you in line in a way. I think that's very important, because otherwise you're going to be distracted and trying all these different things, and soon enough you're going to be trying 4 different business models at the same time, and you're not going to be able to balance everything at once. I've faced that problem myself several times, honestly, where I felt like I've been bottlenecked, and I'm like, all right, I got to do this, and I got to do that, and do this, and I'm like, wait a minute, I got to go back to the basics, dial in the fundamental pieces of my business and my investments, and speak to people that have already gotten to where I want to get to.
Looking at the camera now, whoever you are, whatever pity party you are throwing for yourself right now, I mean, I'm happy to join. Like, I'll give you the sympathy, you know.
Oh, back rubs.
Couple back rubs, right? But, you know, now what, right? Now what? Or you can go, hey, you know what? Okay, maybe I can transmute that suffering into something beautiful, right? And I think we can all do that. I truly believe that every human being has that potential. It is waiting to be unlocked. Maybe I'm overly optimistic. I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
I do really think if we take a look at the basics, that the basics are the most important things for every entrepreneur, because the basics are the things you're gonna start with and you're gonna build on. So just start with the basics, man. Reading books, changing your mindset, changing the perspective, how you look at the world, and operate from that operation system. That's how everything grows, right? So it's easy, man. Everything is on YouTube nowadays.
So, is it easy or simple?
Man, people make it harder than it is. You know, as I said, everything is on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make a nice story about it, because everyone can learn what I have achieved. I'm not special. I'm not smart.
Right.
I am just what Tate says, you know, perspicacious. I'm opening my eyes. I'm listening to people. I put my ego aside. I know other people that have achieved more. I can learn something from them.
Yeah.
And that's how you can achieve some things. The most people nowadays, bro, they have a big ego. They think they know it.
Yeah.
You know, and especially for a young guy like me, or young guys that want to start with business, even if you're 30, man, and you want to start, most people still have an ego for nothing. And an ego is good, of course, but you need to know when you can put it aside to learn things. And I think that's the main thing most people struggle with.
I left school at 13 or 14 to pursue my business.
Dropped out? Really? I did not know that.
That was a big risk, as you can imagine, right? Dropping out of school that early, not many people do that.
Parents are like upset?
Took a lot of convincing. A lot of convincing. But I managed to get it done, and I knew that's what I wanted to pursue at the time. So yeah, I dropped out of school 13, 14, and I focused on my business and gaming. So I would play all day, every day, you know, 13, 16-hour days. I'd produce content.
16 hours of playing?
Days, yes. Not every day, but at points, yeah. Wake up, play, food, play.
What would you say to people who are young that want to achieve what you've achieved, or some degree of that?
I would say the number one thing that contributes to a lot of success is you have to filter out the noise, right? You can't really go to the expectations of society where people try and drag you down, and focus on yourself and focus on building yourself and focus where your core values are. And that's developed over time for me. My core values changed, and now it's much more about kind of inspiring the youth, right?
Dude, my favorite simple thing to say is your network is your net worth, right? Don't be afraid to just go out there and meet people and talk to people and truly be invested in what they do too, right? You know? But it's, I think that's just one of the biggest keys to my success, truly, right now, is I can network, and I have a phenomenal network of investors and friends, and hell, most of my investors have become my friends, right? But it's a crazy good feeling to know that I have people all over the US and other countries that I can call if I ever need anything. They've always said, hey, you know, you can reach out. If you're here in this city, you can come stay here, whatever, we've got you. Like, that feeling it's crazy. I don't know. I think network is huge, man. It's key. It's a big one.
The moment you've been waiting for. Luke Belmar and Jordan Welsh, both coming from nothing, have become e-commerce and young entrepreneurship icons. They've not only grown their businesses to millions, but also inspired countless young achievers to do the same. Jordan went from $30,000 in debt to $6 million at the age of 25 via dropshipping. You may know him from his YouTube channel highlighting successful entrepreneurs. He recently hit 1 million subscribers, and I had a chance to ask him a couple questions.
Lastly, for me, 100,000 subscribers, you've been here before. A lot of people are here. You obviously probably had a different mindset at that stage versus where you are now. What would you like to tell you at a million, what you current you, 1 million subscribers, tell you that was at just breaking 1,000? What would you like to hear?
Like I said before, it takes time, and the fastest way to shortcut your success would be to surround yourself around other creators. Like, think about it, you didn't come here with this YouTube video idea, but because we spent time together, I was like, yo, you gotta film this, and this might be your most viewed video. That's true. I've had that same experience by surrounding myself with creators that have 10 times what I have. So that maybe would be one thing, was try to get into the rooms of other creators.
Luke Belmar. Aside from being an e-commerce mogul, he's an 8-figure earner, private equity investor, and the originator of Capital Club Community, built to become the world's largest decentralized entrepreneurial network.
Every man needs, and woman needs, 3 relationships in their life. Every person that wants to level up needs 3 relationships in their life. The first one is they need a mentor, somebody that they can look up to, somebody that they can learn from. The second relationship is they need a peer, somebody that they can learn with, somebody that's next to them, that iron that sharpens iron. And then finally, a mentee, somebody that you pour into, or somebody that you invest your time into, because, well, usually these people keep you in check, and leadership is a key to exercising what you learn inside relationships. And if you have a mentor, if you have peers, and if you have mentees, then now you begin to complete a cross-pollination effect of learning. And that's where...
If you know Luke Belmar, you know this interview was phenomenal. If you want to go check out the full interview, click this link or check out more videos from the Capital Club playlist right here.